enjoy company and time spent by yourself, people are quick to label you antisocial. This video was going to debunk all of that. Today on the Taty Domini show, we're going to discuss 6 reasons why people enjoy their own company. And the reasons might definitely surprise you or make you feel seen. I'd rather be alone than to deal with fake people. The older you get, the more you realize that fake people don't just waste your time, they waste your energy. And you start to realize that you could be putting energy into things that replenish you, not drain you. You're young, impressionable, and naive. It's easy to overlook fakeness. But as you get older, there are certain things that you no longer can overlook. And like I always tell you guys, with age comes wisdom. The older you get, the easier it is to smell the fake BS from a mile away, and you want to stay away from it to save your own sanity and protect your own peace. Keeping fake people in your life requires constant emotional labor, always having to decode the mixed signals or try to figure out if they're really happy for you or just pretending. Who wants to keep putting themselves through that? So the people who enjoy their own company would much rather be by themselves than having to do gymnastics to try to figure out if somebody is really for them or they're not. And on top of that, you can't really be yourself around them or really open up yourself to them because you know they're fake. And fake people love to gossip. So if you're opening up yourself to them, telling them your secrets, whatever, you have to worry about, is this person gonna go tell my business and go spread it? Because a lot of the times the people who are fake, they like to pretend that they have interest in you. They like to pretend that they want to be a part of your life, when in all reality, they have secret ulterior motives that make you question everything. A person who likes to spend time by themselves will rather take that energy to go watch a movie, go out on a date by themselves, go read a book by themselves, just hang out with themselves instead of doing the mental gymnastics to try to figure out if somebody's being genuine to them or if they're as disingenuous as they come. That we know why they prefer to be alone versus hanging out with someone fake. Let's jot down some red flags for you to look out for to determine if the people in your circle are fake or genuine. Their personality will change depending who is in the room. They don't have principles or morals. They have audiences, and they will be whoever they need to be for the audience that they're standing in front of, even if that means hitting you below the belt or making you look bad in front of this audience. Celebrate your successes until they feel like they're surpassing theirs. See, someone who is fake, they're like a chameleon. They know how to blend in, but certain things, certain triggers reveal their spots every single time. One of those spots is seeing you win. If they feel like you're winning or you're doing more than they're doing, and it's all relative, right? Because this is all about perception and perspective. But if in their opinion, they're seeing you winning and they feel like you're doing better than them, baby, them spots will start to flash like neon lights. They'll have nice little backhanded compliments ready for you at hand, and it will come off as if they're being celebratory, but it'll have that underlining nice, nasty energy under it to keep you humbled. For example, you'll accomplish something. They're like, I'm so glad you finally did it. You was working all that time. You finally did it. Or they'll be like, oh, you accomplished that? Well, I accomplished that before. I already did that. They'll try to switch the subject off of you onto them because they struggle to see you win. And the fakeness allows them to hide it momentarily. But the moment that you start winning, the fakeness and the jealousy and the enviousness start flashing like red lights. Will constantly make you question and wonder where you stand with them, because they'll do something that shows that they're in allegiance with you and that they're your friend, but then they'll also do something that's disloyal and completely disingenuous that'll completely shock and catch you off guard. Genuine people are consistent and forthcoming. People who are fake will constantly keep you guessing. When you're struggling, they'll be your bestest friend in the world, because seeing you struggle nourishes their spirit and make them feel like, oh, I'm not the only one that's struggling. Oh, she's struggling while I'm winning. That makes them feel good. Because one thing about a fake person, they can't be real to you if they're not even being real to themselves. Okay, all of this competition and insecurity and feeling need to compete, it is all a personal issue. So if they're not being honest with themselves and saying, dang, I feel intimidated by their wins, I am only there for her or him when they are struggling. If they can't look themselves in the mirror and be honest and be a better friend, how could they be a better friend to you, but also be a better person to themselves? They can't do nothing for you. They can't even be real to themselves. They could never be your friend. And that's why people who enjoy their own company would much rather be alone than to be surrounded by fake individuals. The second reason why a lot of people are totally comfortable alone, they don't need external validation. See, when you love yourself, a byproduct of that is no longer needing validation from the external world. So many people have so many opinions and feedback based on what you do with your life. Someone who truly enjoys their own solitude, they get that validation from themselves and whoever they pray to. Okay? They don't need it from the external world because they realize the main people giving critiques and feedback and all of those things don't even be having nothing going on like that. They have all these criticism and critiques for you. Meanwhile, they have no proof. That's annoying. How you going to tell me how to live my life, but you have no proof of the goodness of your advice? Yeah, exactly. When you're younger, it's easier to feel like you need to please the world. You need to please people. You need to be surrounded by people that like you. But as you get older, people start to care less about that. They like themselves. They love themselves. Why would they bend their brag, jump over gymnastics and do all these extra things to satisfy and please the world when the world has its own issue? You sit up here trying to please somebody and they got low self-esteem. Like, none of that. You learn to please yourself, to satisfy yourself and satisfy God and the person that you pray to every night. If it's the universe, that's your tea. But all I'm saying is you stop needing that external validation because you realize that the external voices ain't nothing but a bunch of noise trying to distract you and mold you to what everybody else is doing in society and what everybody else is going on and the trends that they following. We live in a world where it's more normal to follow the trends and think like other people than it is to think for yourself. And once you start thinking for yourself, it's easier for you to move alone because you realize the groups of people that you be hanging around be trying to morph you and make you like them. We have to embrace authenticity, creativity, and innovation and stop making it seem like you're only good if the world validates you. F the world. We're not here to validate the world. If you know, you know. The world is full of corrupt and evil, and it's hard to determine which is what. That's why you lean on the guidance of whoever you look to or on your moral compass and the guidance of yourself. Nothing in this world can tell you you're enough. Like, who are you? We're people. You're a person. I'm a person. No way I'm going to you to validate me. You're a person just like me. I get validated from a higher power, not another person, okay? Also realize that you can have a dozen people around you and still not feel seen, still not feel understood. You can have 12 friends and none of them understand you. But who understand you? You! That makes it so much easier for someone to just chill and be on their lonely because they realize that when you have like all these people around you, it's all these opinions, it's all these thoughts, and it's colliding with how you feel. And now you're trying to determine, well, do what I feel is right or should I listen to them? No, you should listen to yourself. And when you chill on your lonely, you chill to yourself, you keep you a small circle, it's much easier to have clarity and to know what you want to do with your life because you're not leaning on the validation of the world or leaning on the feedback from other people. You're leaning on yourself, your own intuition, your own guidance, your own compass. Like, come on now. They realize that not only do they not need the validation, but they don't need to be chosen, you know? And I think a lot of the times us as people, we stay in situations longer than we should, or we stay around people that we know we should have been gotten away from because we want to be chosen by them. But it's like when you have your own validation, you don't need to be chosen from anybody. That's just another form of validation. You don't need to be chosen. You better be valued. Okay? Whatever. Like, you could choosing is so easy and you could choose wrong. Wouldn't you rather be valued? And you'll be valued by people you care about, but you're also being valued in your own solitude because you enjoy yourself. You enjoy your own company. You enjoy your own experiences. You enjoy your own thoughts. You enjoy your hobbies. You're literally enjoying your own company. So when you enjoy your own company to that degree, you have to be around people who value you. You have to be around people who fulfill you and that you can also help fulfill. Because if you're around people who don't do anything but make you feel like you got to search for their validation and they confuse you and you don't know if you're doing the right thing and they make you just feel like you're not yourself. You're trying to remold yourself to fit the idea that they have in their mind. Who wants to do that? So instead of doing that, people who enjoy their own company, who don't mind being alone, will sit in solitude before they ever go around someone that makes them question their worth, question their identity, or question their thoughts. They don't need validation from anyone. Happiness will no longer be dependent on somebody else's approval. It's dependent on how you feel about you. Freedom that we don't talk about enough. That's why it's getting talked about today. And if I'm spitting, it's because I'm passionate. When I'm passionate, my words pop, spit flies. So just disregard and focus on the message. Number 3, it is peaceful. Okay? Being in solitude, you literally could do whatever you want to do. You don't have to ask someone, hey, is this okay with you? You don't have to check in with anyone. You literally are in tune with what you want to do, what brings you joy. You don't have to worry about anything else aside from your own happiness and your own joy. And once you get a taste of that, once you get a sip of that, it is very hard to be around people who don't give you the same feeling. And what I mean by that is, like I referred earlier in this video, people who are fake, they drain you and they make you question your worth, okay? When you have that inner love and inner happiness and inner joy within yourself, now you refuse to be around people who don't have that same happiness and joy inside of them. You become very protective of your joy and your happiness because you genuinely are happy and peaceful when you are alone. Like, peace is a byproduct of your happiness. When you are happy, you are literally at peace. So once you have experienced that peace and that solitude and that genuine happiness, it's like, I'm not going to be around people that are negative. So it's not even like, oh, I enjoy my own company, so I'm going to cut everybody off. No, people who disturb your peace start to filter themselves out. And because you have this newfound solidarity with self and you lack the longing to have to be around other people, you can pinpoint it easier. You stop dealing with the BS because it's like, hold on, I was peaceful and I was calm when you wasn't around. Now you're here, you're disturbing my spirit. You gotta go. You gotta go. Get out of here or reach a dirch. You have to go. So I think that's interesting too. And let's marinate on that for a little bit. That when you become at peace with yourself, your standards for people go up. Your standards for people literally go up. And maybe I'll segue that into the next point. Before, hunchbacking literally off of point number 3. When you are literally okay with being yourself and being by yourself, your standards of people who are in proximity to you go up. What you used to tolerate, you are no longer. Because you don't need to, because you've already mastered the solitude of being okay with being alone. And some people don't even have to master it. It's just how they've always been. And more people are joining that bandwagon, not even bandwagon, but more people are joining that experience because they're exploring and understanding themselves more as time goes on. I feel like we are also in an era where a lot of people are mistrusting of people because of what they experienced and what they went through. And that alone also makes your standards of the people that you keep in proximity to you, it makes it go up. Because now you know how to be by yourself. Your pattern recognition is becoming strong. So now a byproduct of that is the company that you keep goes up. The quality of the company that you keep goes up. You are no longer keeping friends around just to keep them around. You are keeping them because they add value to your life, not take it away. If you have people in your life that are draining it, and people think, oh, it's family. Because it's family, I can't never cut them off. That couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. Ask anybody that you may know. Everybody has cut off at least one family member who was deserving. Family do not make you loyal to one another. Family does not increase respect. Sometimes you could be blood related to someone and they feel like a stranger. Okay. And I think that is also good in this category is that when you've been through things and you've gone through things and you've mastered how to be alone and you've overcame whatever you went through, a byproduct of that in this section, like I'm reinforcing, is that your standards of people that you keep in proximity goes up. You'd rather be alone than deal with some crocodile foolishness. You'd rather be by yourself than to tolerate people who make you question your worth, who make you doubt yourself, who try to lower your self-esteem. You'd rather be alone. That's not a coincidence. And it's not a coincidence that we're seeing this trend happen nationwide. Nationwide. People are fed up with people. And it's unfortunate, but we are living in a society where people are very much solo dolo with the small circle. They are not doing the big, huge, like friend groups like how I used to see growing up, because people are realizing just because it's quantity don't mean they're quality. They'd rather have people who are quality and make them feel good be in their life than to just have people around just to have around. They don't need to have you around. They're good by themselves. So because they're good by themselves, you have to show up or shut up to be in their life. Number 5, you stop chasing people. It gets to a point where when you're comfortable in your own solitude, a byproduct of that is you stop chasing relationships. You stop begging to be in people's lives and start accepting when they're not there anymore. It really gets to a point where you stop reaching out to people and see who's reaching out to you, who is missing you, who is looking out for you, who you talk to on a weekly basis. And if you don't talk to them on a weekly basis, you might not ever talk to them again. That's just what it is. When you have your own solitude and you are comfortable with your own peace and you're comfortable with being alone, you stop needing to track down people. And because you're not tracking them down, the friendship, the relationship, it falls off. It falls off completely because you are no longer the person trying to hold everything together and trying to make sure that everybody stays united. You're letting it go. Instead, you start to hang out with yourself. And this is, something that we've touched on earlier, but that energy transference is real. You don't realize how much energy you are using trying to keep relationships alive, trying to keep people around, trying to show up and maintain that friendship or that relationship. You don't realize how much energy you're putting into other people. So when you have an aha moment and like, I could put that energy into myself, you stop chasing people altogether because you realize what's meant to be in your life will be, and what will align on its own. You don't have to be the person that's constantly reaching out and making sure that this person is good. Meanwhile, that person is never checking on you, never make sure you're good, never seeing if you are okay, but you're always there for them. That gets draining after a while. It gets draining because you realize the indifferences of how you're carrying them versus how you're being carried. Okay? And once you peep that, you can't unsee it. You literally can't unsee it. And that's why I'm always preaching about pattern recognition. Once you peep the patterns, you can put things together so quickly because you look at what you think is happening and then you find the supporting evidence. Okay, I feel like this person is playing in my face. Why do I feel that? Because they didn't invite me to their birthday party. They didn't text me back. They didn't wish me a happy birthday. You start putting the things together so fast. That's why I'm telling you, if you are not good on pattern recognition, please brush up on that. Let me know if y'all want a video on how to do pattern recognition and how to increase your pattern recognition skills so that nothing is going over your head. Let me know. I will put that together for you guys with the swiftness, because a lot of my videos are just patterns that I am seeing, that I am researching, and I'm just putting it together for you guys so that you have a cohesive and overview of advice that you could really apply to in your real life. Because I wished I had somebody to give me advice. I wished I had somebody who was learning the life lessons for me so that I don't have to learn them. And that's my hopes with you guys, is that if I teach you the things that I've learned in my life and in my observations, that it can help you overcome the things that you're going through. I want this channel to be a place where if you have a question and you don't know where you could go for answers, you can come to me. Okay? The topics, like I always tell you guys, if you have a topic that's burning your heart up and you really want someone to give you feedback and advice on it, please comment down below. I am more than happy. Okay, I love giving advice. I love it. I love looking at the patterns. I love seeing what the problem is and working, to help find a solution so that you're not going through the same thing over and over again. Because going through the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is a definition of insanity. You want to move smart in this life, and you want to move in a way that prevents you from avoiding the hard lessons that you don't have to learn. You don't have to learn those lessons. You can get the advice on it to avoid heartache. Now, granted, I do know and I am aware that sometimes you do have to go through the lesson to learn it. But I would like to give you a little warning as much as I can. Now, as much insight as I possibly can. So please, if you need advice, you got questions, comments, concerns, please comment them down below. And along with the need to not chase anymore, segueing back to the original point of this section, you stop feeling the need to be included. So this is a double whammy. You stop chasing people, but you also stop feeling the need to be included. So with the chasing, it's like you're running after them because you want to be included in their life. You want to be included in their moments. You want to check up on them. You just want to be included in their world. Once you understand the power of being included in your own world, you stop feeling the need to be included in theirs. A lot of the times when you're chasing after people, you're chasing, you want to be involved, you want to be a part of their life. That's because you don't have enough solitude, happiness, and peace in your own. And yes, I do understand that we want to support and show up for others. Let's not get that twisted. When I mean chasing, you're putting more effort into them than they're putting into you. There's nothing wrong with supporting the people that you care about. There's nothing wrong with supporting the people that you love. When you are overextending yourself and they're not giving the same thing back into return, you're giving them too much. And that's when you have to pour back into yourself, as I previously stated. And enjoy your own company. Once you enjoy your own company, you no longer need to be included into their world. That's a byproduct of choosing your own life, choosing your own peace, choosing to get to know yourself so that you don't have to always be chasing after somebody else. You have everything you need inside of you. You're not looking for that attention, that inclusion anywhere else because you already included yourself. Okay, you already chose yourself. You're chasing yourself. It's nothing out there that you need because everything that you need is inside of you. Lastly, you realize just because you're alone doesn't mean you are lonely. And this one is a rich one because you realize that you could be in a room full of 30 people, like I mentioned earlier, and they still not see you. They still not understand you. They still try to compete with you. You could be in a room full of people and feel like strangers because of how they carry you, how they move with you. When you are one with yourself and you love your own company and you love who you are and you love your interests and you love your hobbies, you're never alone. For the longest, there was this misconception that if you're alone, you're lonely. That couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. They think you need the most friend in the world, the most invitations until you get in the room and realize that you could be surrounded by people who don't care about you at all. The beauty of it is nobody's going to care about you and love you like how you love you. And when you make peace with that and channel into what makes you happy, you'll never be alone. And the people that are supposed to be in your life, they'll show up and you'll never have to question it. Definitely can be around people and still feel lonely. You can definitely be in a relationship and still feel disconnected. And as long as you're one with yourself, you will always be okay. Problem isn't being alone, it's being around people who make you feel alone. And the power that you have is to choose the people that you are around. Experience genuine connection with yourself first. It opens doors for you to have genuine connections with other people because, like I said, your standard for relationships go up. And once you experience genuine connection with self, genuine connection with others, definition of loneliness and being alone changes forever. You'll start seeing being by yourself as a retreat, as a relaxation time, instead of, oh, I'm so lonely, I'm so alone. Because you'd be surprised by the number of people who cannot sit with themselves. Once you learn to sit with yourself, your life will forever be changed and your tolerance will be way lower. Your self-love will be way higher, and you literally will have the peace and happiness that you deserve in all sectors of your life. That's it for this video. I hope it provided clarity. I hope it made you feel understood, and I hope it made you feel seen. And I can't wait to see you guys next time. As always, thumbs up this video, share it with your friends if you enjoyed this content, and if you have any topics that you really want your girl to talk about, drop them down below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.